This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Megan Shepard. It's great to have you with us. Topping news, it's day 2 of the Global Leadership Summit underway at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Today's session dealt with the leadership priority of character. Joan Davis-Rowe reports.
Prominent United States business leader Bob Harrison, in a thought-provoking address, underscored the importance of leadership values and vision.
When you have no vision, you'll simply relive the past with its disappointments and failures. Ooh! When you have no vision, you just keep reliving the past with its disappointments and its failures. See, vision brings possessions. Vision of the future brings you possession of the future.
Harrison told delegates from more than 50 countries around the world that it's not about where you are now, but where you are headed. He recounted the biblical life of Abraham.
God wanted him to see the vastness of what his seed would become. He didn't just speak to him and said, you're going to have a whole lot of kids and grandkids and multiple generation offspring. He gave him a picture of the future. He took him out of his tent and he said, look up at the stars. He said, your seed is going to be like the stars of the sky. He gave them a vision of the future. By the way, it's not my topic today, but it's one of the reasons some of us are not getting a vision of a great future is we won't get out of our tent. We're trying to see the stars in our tent. You have to get out of your tent in order to see the stars. God has to take you out of what you're doing and where you are. He has to show you new methods, new plans. You've got to get involved in change. Because as long as you're staying in your tent, you're not going to see the stars.
Harrison stressed that success is not just about making money. He outlined the significance of strong Christian values and the importance of thinking out of the box.
What you put before you gives you a direction and reproduces in your life. So one day I went out and I got some brochures and flyers of where I was going to be speaking or scheduled to speak in the near future. I then went and got some pictures of my grandkids and my children. And I went down to the store and got a whole bunch of magnets that you could put pictures on. And I made a picture board on the front of my refrigerator where I'd go to get water, where I'd go to get food. And every time I went to that refrigerator, I saw a picture of my future. And the more I looked at my future, the more it helped me to get away from my past.
Joan Davis-Rowe, ZNS Network News.
A family in New Providence in the health and wellness business is expressing confidence in Grand Bahamas' economy. This past weekend, the company expanded its services to the island. Sabrina Brown has more.
New Life Natural Vegetation Cell Food Limited opened its doors on Grand Bahama on Saturday with an initial investment of $75,000. Owner Jamal Munker says the business, which started out in New Providence, focuses on preventive measures.
What our butterfly bought is we want to be a family. We want to communicate with you so we could intertwine with each other and share ideas on how we could stem the progression of all of these non-communicable disease and the chronic disease and these different ailments. The foods are no longer grown, they're manufactured. And the biggest problem is that we don't know. We don't know. And the fact that we don't know, that's the beginning of disease.
Minister for Grand Bahama Dr. Michael Darville commended the Monker family for taking a leap of faith during these tough economic times.
The official opening ceremony, in my opinion, is a testament of the investor confidence on the island of Grand Bahama. Despite our depressed economy, we have young entrepreneurs who are seeing something that a lot of Grand Bahamians do not see, and that is opportunity in the midst of economic deprivation. I appreciate the confidence that Mr. Monka and his team have demonstrated in the Bahamian economy, the economy of Grand Bahama, and the economic policies of the government.
Dr. Darville is encouraging Bahamians to make healthy choices. He says almost half of the government's healthcare budget is spent on caring for patients with illnesses that are brought on by lifestyle.
In fact, according to the World Health Organization, in a 2011 report, chronic non-communicable diseases are the leading cause of morbidity and mortality in the Bahamas. Additionally, our recent population surveys and living conditions of the residents of Grand Bahama indicate an increased prevalence of obesity, cancer, hypertension, and diabetes, while studies of our healthcare system reveal that nearly half of the public beds, the occupation of the public beds, are from individuals suffering from diseases that have been brought on from lifestyle.
New Life already has plans to expand its business here on Grand Bahama in the near future and will employ up to 12 people. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears, police have identified the 4 persons who perished in the plane crash just 4 miles west of the Grand Bahama International Airport on Sunday, November 10th. The victims have been identified as American citizens Glenn Steiner and Leslie Steiner, both of Arizona, Cindy Meza and Anthony L. Weishart, both of Indiana, USA. Investigations are continuing into this matter. Also from police, officers in Grand Bahama have arrested 4 persons for possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. According to reports, shortly after 3 p.m. on November 11th, while in the area of Pioneers Way East, conducted a search of a red 1996 Ford Ranger truck, where they discovered in the vehicle a plastic bag containing a gray and black Smith & Wesson Taurus .40 pistol with 5 live rounds of .40 ammunition in the magazine. A 31-year-old male and his 3 passengers were all arrested and taken into police custody. They are expected to be arraigned in the magistrate court on firearm and ammunition charges. Now, police on Grand Bahama are seeking the public's assistance in identifying this individual in the photo on your television screen. Police say he is wanted for questioning for armed robbery charges and is considered armed and extremely dangerous and should be approached with extreme caution. Anyone with information on the identity and or whereabouts of this individual can contact the police at 350-3089 or 350-3109, 911 on the nearest police station. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition continues after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
The Ministry of Education teaming up with the Rotary Club of Lucaya to improve the quality of education for the students of the Beacon School. The partnership will ensure that students excel not just in academics, but in sports as well. Natalie Martin-Burrow has that story.
This is what you see now, but in a few short months, this is what you will see.
The Stephen Dillett playing field will begin to take shape in a matter of months. The Rotary Club of Lucaya is partnering with the Ministry of Education to provide sporting facilities for the students of the Beacon School. Past District Governor Peter Turnquest says it is a fitting memorial to former Rotarian Steve Dillett, who passed away in June of this year.
My job is basically just to say how pleased we are with the Rotary Club of Lucaya and the effort that they're going to put forward here on this field in the coming months. As you would all be aware, the Rotary International has placed a particular focus on alleviating suffering, alleviating poverty, providing assistance to those in need. And the Rotary Club of Lucaya has demonstrated that passion since its inception. And so we are very, very pleased with the work that they're doing here. The district certainly supports the effort, and we look forward to this project coming out of the ground.
School Principal Miriam Sweeting called it a wonderful partnership that will benefit the special students.
I know our students are looking forward to going on that playground. We have about 4 students who are in wheelchairs, and many times they come complaining to the office, we don't have anything to do. We have no place to play. But I know once they come and they see what's happening on the field with the adaptive playground equipment, they're going to be overjoyed.
Deputy Director of Education Sandra Edgecombe, grateful for the work of the Rotary Club, says the sports project will level a playing field for the students at the Beacon School.
Yes, those wheelchair-bound students will have an opportunity, like all of the students, to get out of those wheelchairs and onto equipment best suited and adapted for them and their needs. And they'll be happy and they can laugh and they can play. Because one of the things we do not like to do is to treat the children at the Beacon School any different than we treat the children in what we call the normal school, because we've seen what they can do. They participate in everything that all of the children participate.
Natalie Martinborough, ZNS Network News.
This past Sunday, several graduates of Government High School class of 1963 celebrated 50 years since their completion of high school. Many of the graduates are well known in the Grand Bahama community and have made many contributions to society since entering the workforce. Former head boy, Dr. Marcus Bethel, addressing the special guests at Sunday's church service.
Let me say that our worship here this morning represents the fact that we all believe and worship one God, and that we want to give thanks for his many mercies and blessings to all of us, particularly my classmates over the past 50 years. And I will introduce them in just a minute. And we also, in addition to giving thanks, want to also ask for prayers as we move forward into the second 50 years of our existence.
Dr. Bethel says that Sunday service was just the beginning of a week of activities that will come to an end this Saturday in New Providence at a special banquet.
We here in Grand Bahama have maintained contact with one another, and we look forward, of course, to joining our other former classmates in Nassau next week. Today, this year, is also a period of celebration for this church, and I commend you on your 45 years of existence, as we also celebrate Remembrance Day throughout the Bahamas and indeed the world.
Well, elections are around the corner for the Grand Bahama Christian Council. Incumbent President Bishop Arnold Pinder says November 19th is nomination day for the council, and persons seeking to run must be financial on or before that date.
If you are running for any of the 13 executive posts, first of all, your church must be financial. And according to the Constitution, you would have to have attended at least 6 meetings in 2 years. And out of the 13 executives, no 2 people from the same denomination can be elected.
Candidates seeking the post of president must be a pastor or a church leader, and forms must be signed by the council president, secretary, and 2 members of their respective church. Bishop Pinder says at this point he is contemplating a 3rd term.
Started without me, it carry on while I'm there, and while I'm gone, it still would have to carry on. But the person who is, whosoever God picked to be in charge of the Christian Council, if it is me, I will serve. If it is somebody else, I will serve them. Because it ain't about me, it ain't about them. It's about building up the kingdom of God. And so therefore, my desire, my zeal, my drive is to see that the Christian Council continue, and I will do my best, whether I am president or not.
Christian Council elections will take place the 3rd Tuesday in January. Don't go away, sports is up next with Ricardo Lightbourn.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Ricardo Lightbourn, Sports Night dedicated to our very own Keith Sycamore Seymour. Can't tell you how old he is, but guess what? He wears it very, very well. Bahamas Olympic Committee is also pushing forward with its youth program and talent search. Grand Bahama is the test site for this new program. The Bahamas Olympic Committee has taken initiative and a new approach in finding sports stars of tomorrow. The BOC First Vice President Aaron Lewis is excited about the new initiative, and Grand Bahama is the test site.
As a proud son of the soil, I look forward to the strategic alliance and partnership we will forge in the upcoming months with our stakeholders in sports, particularly the sporting community, corporate Grand Bahama, and last but by no means least, the athletes. As my role as Vice President, I'm charged with talent ID and assisting sporting organization with developing a talented and diverse pipeline so that sport can be sustained at the elite level for many years to come.
The utilization of parks and sports facilities on Grand Bahama is crucial to the success of the program. Community and school involvement plays a very important part in this initiative.
Our first order of business will be to meet with sporting bodies on Grand Bahama with the sanctioning of the various national federations. As you may be aware, we, the BOC, are keen on Olympic sports, and as such, we'll be introducing the sports of handball, badminton, archery, equestrian, and rowing, and will reintroduce the sports of judo, wrestling, and taekwondo with the assistance of the national federations.
The core sports will not be left out of this program, but it's up to the coaches and also the instructors to ensure that everybody receives the same opportunity.
This is not to suggest that we will not remain focused on traditional Olympic sports, such as athletics, aquatics, basketball, volleyball, cycling, football, gymnastics, sailing, boxing, and tennis. Other sports, such as basketball and softball, will also be focused on.
Well, there's now a segment dedicated to the development of coaches at all levels of sports. Lawrence Hepburn has taken on the challenge of the coaching instructor, which is a passion for the past BBF president and CAF skipper.
In time past, we didn't pay much attention to TV. And so most things we were doing was based on our understanding of what we knew at that time. The Bahamas Olympic Association has afforded me the opportunity on several occasions to travel and to be educated in various aspects of coaching. And so we want to share that knowledge with coaches throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas. It's no need for me to have all this experience in my years in coaching and to keep it to myself. So I would like to, say how happy I am to have been selected to carry out this mandate.
Well, Lawrence says that it's a much-needed program and the coaches will benefit greatly. It will also take some community effort as far as our coaches and athletes.
There's too much of our youth programs that are focused on winning and competition, whereas our kids should be in these programs to learn how to have fun, how to socialize, how to communicate, how to resolve conflicts. This is the bigger part of the Olympic mandate. And so that's not about developing elite athletes. And I've said this over and repeatedly. The Bahamas Olympic Association is not just about developing elite athletes. It's about developing good citizens.
Okay, well, let's go now to the basketball. Of course, with the Jimmy Goon and Common Keith Mullings League. Walter Parker boys over Maurice Moore 16-7. Freeport Gospel, they also nipped Martintown 6-5. Hugh Gamble put away Bottle Hill, get the score in this one 12-8. In the high school division, this is now the Churchill Knowles Miriam Sweeting League. Egmont Rock had a good one, folks. The junior boys, they defeated Sunland 6-1. Tabernacle shutting out St. George's 11-zip. And also Sister Mary Patricia Russell had a good one going as well. They also defeated Lacan National 16-1. And Jack Hayward also shutting out St. Paul's 16-zip. Now, as far as the high schools, we can tell you St. George's over Tabernacle 12-0, and Jack Hayward with a 12-0 job on the BMES Boys. Didn't say anything about Sunland. Don't want Megan to get upset. That's a look at your sports on Tuesday.